Yeah, he's by the tree.
Circle collapse imminent. Get to safety.
Oh, yeah, he really.
Yeah.
Dude, he told you he's by the tree. Dream.
Look at him, he's right there by the tree.
Tree behind me, tree in front of me. What tree?
Hey guys, Drifter here. Blackout 4 is going to be releasing soon, which for many of us means that Blackout is finally returning. I wanted to make some predictions about the future of this mode, about the future of Black Ops 4, and the Call of Duty brand in general, because I think that Blackout is a real potential game changer for Call of Duty, the likes of which they may have never seen before, and I personally haven't seen this level of hype and outside interest in a Call of Duty game since maybe Modern Warfare 3. So today's video, we're going to go through a series of predictions, one generally flowing from another, that explains how I see the future of Blackout going. And we're going to start with prediction number 1, which is Blackout is going to be more popular than regular multiplayer. I think we basically already saw this with the beta. The Blackout beta, at least for me, did way better than the multiplayer beta. There was way more people watching on stream, way more people just watching other streamers on Twitch and Mixer, way more hype and interest and memes and posting and sharing, and it just seemed better. And I don't have access to any of the official numbers, but I assume that they're higher. However, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is going to be an overall big launch, and I'm going to guess that on launch, the share of multiplayer to Battle Royale players is going to be about 50-50, or maybe even slightly in favor of multiplayer. However, as the game continues, and as multiplayer tends to get a bit repetitive and Blackout continues to get worked on and stuff, I think that you're going to see more players shift away from multiplayer and toward Blackout. Also, Blackout's one of the few modes that can attract outside gamers, and that's going to seriously boost its numbers. Call of Duty multiplayer has been, we'll say, similar for a very long time, and it's kind of hit its peak saturation. There's a lot of COD gamers out there, but there's not a lot of new COD gamers out there. Blackout's going to pull a lot of new people in and shift the overall balance of the game in its favor. Similarly, and this is prediction number 2, I think that Blackout is going to gain some mainstream gaming attention again. For a long time, Call of Duty has been a joke of a game for the rest of the gaming community. It's a huge game, it has big numbers every year, but competitive Call of Duty isn't treated very seriously by other organizations or by other games. The multiplayer isn't treated very seriously. It's not thought of highly on Twitter or Reddit or anywhere outside of its own bubble. It's seen as a baby game, as a stale game, as a dead horse game. A lot of very negative stereotypes about Call of Duty gamers as well. So we've been kind of getting pooped on for a long time in that category. However, Blackout has already gained the attention of the rest of the outside gamer world, and a lot of those, we'll say, serious PC master race neckbeard gamers have seemed to really enjoy this, and they're moving back into it. And I think that it's going to pull in a lot of big name streamers from Fortnite and PUBG. You already see FaZe Avery's interested, Ninja's interested, Shroud's interested, even a lot of like super OG Call of Duty people like Gold Glove and Jericho that really aren't remotely playing COD anymore. They're off doing their other adventures on Twitch, really seem to enjoy Blackout. And I think that that's going to be the story across the spectrum of gaming, is that people are going to say, this new Call of Duty, oh wow, that actually kind of looks interesting. Maybe I'll try it, and they'll like it, and it's going to grow. Prediction number 3 is that the demand for tournaments and private servers is going to start really quickly into the life cycle of this game. The Keemstar tournaments for Fortnite were ultimately very, very hype and very good for the game. I'm pretty sure that Epic changed the rules of their tournaments and stuff just to avoid having to be associated with Keemstar because he's bad for a lot of big brands and especially for children. But I do think that the COD community is going to want to emulate that success. The Fortnite skirmishes and the tournaments they do, and even the PUBG tournaments have been very successful for those games. They're Battle Royale games. That's exactly what the community is going to want to do with Blackout. They're going to want custom servers, they're going to want private lobbies, they're going to want testing, exploration lobbies, they're going to want to be able to host 100-player games for their friends, and I'm going to put this in an I know that that's what they're going to want. That's the prediction. There is a caveat, a little asterisk, and if this happens, if Activision budgets for servers, if Treyarch adds this feature into the game, if it all gets approved and we do get custom servers, we will almost certainly get tournaments, and I think that they're going to run very different from the current pro scene. Competitive Call of Duty, as it is kind of hard to break into. You have to grind for a long time. You know, you get picked up by an org. You have to earn pro points in tournaments, and it hooks in with MLG and stuff like that. I think that these tournaments are going to be way more open bracket style, way more invitation, kind of like the Fortnite Epic Games skirmish ones, where they just invite streamers, they invite community members, they invite content creators, they invite people that make intricate traps on the game, and just some, and in our case, it could be zombies YouTubers, just the sort of very different group in order to get wide spectrum appeal. And I don't think that a lot of the people that really enjoy Blackout are going to be the same people that enjoy like the competitive scene, so there's not going to be a lot of overlap there. However, I do think that pro gamers are going to play. Like, if there are Blackout tournaments, yeah, you're going to have Team Optic and Team Envy and stuff like that, but it won't be every pro org all the time, and there'll be a ton of just outside people and community invites. It'll be like 80 invite only, and then 20 just random community members that win in a lotto and something crazy like that, which overall I think it's going to be really good for the game, and I think that if that happens, there will be a lot of views for it. Prediction number 4 is that throughout Black Ops 4's DLC cycle, an event cycle, because they're doing a lot of events, whatever that means, we don't know yet, it's going to shift to favor Blackout after a couple of months. I think that multiplayer is still going to get the initial focus because that seems to be better planned, and there's more stuff there, and that's what they've been doing for ages and ages. And I don't think that either Treyarch or Activision was expecting the massive success of Blackout. They're just not prepared for it. But as it grows and becomes the bigger game mode and gets the more focus, I think that you're going to see more content for Blackout. Like, multiplayer is still going to get maps first and probably specialists and new guns, and then the new guns will show up in Blackout and camos and whatever. But after a couple of months, like probably sometime by spring, Blackout's going to be the most popular mode, and Blackout is going to be getting map updates and character skins and emotes and like whatever, the silly hats and gun camos and just whatever it is that they want to sell for their DLC, or new zombies events, or a Kraken comes, just whatever it is, Blackout's going to get the focus. And finally, prediction number 5, and this is going to be my boldest prediction yet. I predict that Blackout will become its own separate game eventually. Obviously not at launch, and I don't think anytime soon, but I wager that Treyarch is not going to want to share Blackout with Infinity Ward. I know that most of the studios don't share a lot of their tech, and especially not whole game engines. And, there's a lot of talk in the community about like, oh, this Call of Duty Battle Royale, well, next year it's going to be Modern Warfare 4, and we're going to get this whole like Infinity Ward Modern Warfare theme map with Price and High Rise and Dome and all these classic MW maps, which, maybe we will, but I don't believe that. I don't think that Treyarch is going to give up their pride and joy mode and just hand it over to Infinity Ward to essentially mod. I think that maybe they will allow a second mode so that you boot up Call of Duty BR and you choose Blackout, which would be Treyarch themed, or Modern Warfare, which is MW themed, whatever their mode is going to be. Maybe like that, but I don't think that Treyarch is going to be giving up the keys to the castle. So I do believe that after a certain point, after a couple of months, after however long it's going to be, whenever Activision determines that it can make more money by some optimally official accounting equation, that they're going to say, okay, Blackout rolls out as a separate mode, and it's either completely free to play, which seems unlikely, or like $20 or $30. I would really bet they mirror PUBG at $30, or maybe undercut them at $20 to kind of just steal their player base away. And I don't think this would come anytime soon. I would imagine this would be like late spring, summer, something like that. But right when they start getting ready to hype up whatever Infinity Ward is going to be working on, that's when Blackout is going to separate and become its own mode, so that Treyarch can continue to support Blackout for 2-3 years, however long they plan to, while all the studios make whatever games that they're going to make. And if you can't already tell, I'm betting big on Blackout. I think that Blackout is going to be a huge and successful mode. As such, for this channel, I am currently planning more in-depth content for Blackout than I am for multiplayer. Still going to be doing Black Ops 4 in-depth, but I think the multiplayer is going to get less focus in my guides than Blackout. And personally, I'm planning to treat multiplayer as a warm-up mode. Well, multiplayer is, for me, going to be literally the arcade mode. The goofy, capture the flag, call in your score streaks, do your whatever, and respawn, run around. You get on and you warm up your shots a bit. But when I want to play big boy mode, when I want to challenge, when I want to win something real, that's when I'm going to be swapping over to Blackout. And that's kind of where I predict a lot of other gamers to go to. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, leave a nice comment, follow me on Twitter, Mixer, any of those little social actions. They all help. They all benefit me a lot more than you think. And yeah, hopefully you did something, and I'll see you next time. Drifter out.